Only on Fox, we're all familiar with the story of the Fountain of Youth, a legendary spring that restores the youth of anyone who drinks from it. A Valley woman says she has found her own personal fountain of youth, only the magical water she drinks comes not from a spring, but in a white plastic bottle.
Who wants to go for a walk?
Sandra Gianni Kipnis looks to be full of energy as she plays with her dogs, Bugsy and Virginia. But it wasn't that long ago that things were much different.
I was crawling up the stairs at night to go to bed because I didn't have leg strength to actually get myself up the stairs, and sometimes my husband would actually have to help me into bed.
Just 35 years old, Kipnis felt like she was falling apart. There were digestive system issues. She was also seeing a cardiologist for a heart murmur. And the fatigue was so bad, her muscles started to atrophy.
I really had no life, and it was really affecting my family life. So I really didn't have any time to spend with my husband. I was just too fatigued and tired.
Her breaking point was a migraine headache that lasted for 9 weeks. Even strong prescription drugs like Percocet and Vicodin didn't stop the pain.
And finally I said, "Look, Doc, I am suicidal at this point. I can't continue on like this." And he sent me to a neurologist. And Dr. Steyer, who he had sent me to, was the only doctor that actually took a look at everything going on and said, you know what, all this is interrelated.
Her new doctor diagnosed an extremely rare disease that one study says is identified in only 1 out of every 4,000 people.
I found out that I have a mitochondrial myopathy, which is a disorder that I've actually had all my life, but as you age, it becomes progressively worse.
The disease affects the tiny energy factories found in our cells. Not only was Kipnis feeling exhausted, slowly but surely her organs were shutting down.
I went to the doctor. At the time, I was on a number of different medications and said, all right, hand me a pill, you know, throw on another one. And he said, I'm sorry, there's no cure.
Instead of finding out how she could get better, she was getting advice on how to cope with losing her mobility.
You go get your handicap placard. You might want to start looking at different types of wheelchairs and scooters, and you know, take a look at supplements. Sometimes supplements can help. So I started looking at supplements.
And Kipnis found what she was looking for while in Mexico for a friend's wedding. She met a woman who recommended she try a dietary supplement made by a company called Univera. Desperate, Kipnis drank the liquid.
Within 20 minutes, I felt something. I'm like, at first I thought, well, it's got to be psychosomatic because I really want it to work.
What it was working.
Plants not only nourish us, plants have the potential to heal.
Stephen Chernisky is the chief science officer for Univera. He says the company has detailed information about the makeup of about 9,000 plants from around the world and the knowledge to how to best combine them to make their dietary supplement products effective.
The human body is miraculous in its ability to repair, rebuild, and rejuvenate. Univera products basically help a person to increase the body's ability to repair, and they push down on the damaged side of the seesaw, and they produce profound results.
Chernisky says in Sandra's case, he can't pinpoint what biochemical reaction took place.
But we can honestly say that her body was capable of repair and healing, and we just provided the nutrients and the specific compounds that opened up that possibility and made it happen.
Here's everything I was on.
These are part of the 29 prescription medications that Kipnis doesn't take anymore since she started taking Univera's ageless Xtra product. She was also able to stop using the cane that she used to call her security blanket. But those aren't the only differences in her life.
Yeah, go for a walk. I'm doing yoga. I actually can take my dogs for a walk. A month ago, my husband and I went up to our cabin in Prescott, and I went for a 4.5-mile hike in the woods, and there's no way that I would have been able to do that 3 years ago.
Now, Kipnis, a CPA, is working out of her home. And after years of fighting an unknown opponent, she's enjoying her newfound freedom.
I honestly have never felt so good in my entire life because I've had this all my life, but I didn't know it. And now that I have something that can give me natural energy, I feel better than I ever have. I have my life back.
To be clear, Sandra still has that disease, and she still takes prescription medication, although less than she did before. But she credits this product with easing a lot of her symptoms.